Hello all, Project Wargaming, back with an update on some stuff that I've been working on. Uh, Littlewars TV had a great little tutorial this week on how to make flashing smoke. Cool thing, warlords had their volley fire strips for a while. It just looks cool. It's kind of hard to deny that. So the tutorial on Little Wars TV is great. So if you haven't checked that out, you should check that out. But the thing that I've been working on as well is just thinking about it as a little bit longer. And so I am going to play around with what Little Wars, Steve at Little Wars did, and see what I can come up with that. But in the meantime, what I have come up with is actually they have these fairy lights that you can get. And one of the cool things is you can put them out there and make them look like they're, a volley fire as well. So a little strobe might make you have a conniption or something, I guess, just watching the lights. But yeah, so pretty easy. All it is just some little strips of what's called fairy lights that you can buy on Amazon. And it is kind of hard to find fairy lights that actually do this flashing, but you can find them. So this is what I found. It comes in a package of 6. They're not in stock a ton, but they come in stock like every week or so, I guess. And so you can buy some, but they come with this handy dandy little remote. And so you can push them on and push them off. And you don't have to worry about doing any switching. You can also dim them down. You can also brighten them back up. And then they have different settings that you can play around with. But obviously that one's not very good for looking like they're shooting. That one's not quite as fast. That one's a little too easy. This one, I think, probably matches a little bit more. So all I have done is you take this little fairy light that comes in. It's 6 foot of wire. And I think there's probably, 20 diodes that are on there. And all you do is you just figure out the length that you want your smoke thing to be. And then you fold it up. Now, one of the things I try to do is I try to put the diodes so that they're not right on top of each other. Now, that gets a little bit harder as you go on because of having so many, but you just kind of wind that up, spread them out, and you don't have to be too neat with them, and you get them to the size that you like. And then all you do is you just twist them up. Twist them up to give you a fairly solid line. And then you take the extra wire here and wind it around. And I typically set it up so that it looks like this. And then I'll take some hot glue and I'll put it down below here so it doesn't catch the lip that opens up to the battery, and glue that. And then after that's glued, then I will grab my piece of smoke and put that on top. Now these are too small, but this gives you an idea of what I do. So I always think of this as the back line because that's where the troops are, and it's up against basically where they're firing, and then there's more smoke out. And then I just glue it. Now, if I wanted to do 28 millimeter troops, I would probably glue some smoke on the bottom of that. That way it lifts up off the table a bit more. One of the other things that I do that I found for all of my smoke is I don't use like the smoke that just comes in big old globs. I actually buy upholstery foam, and upholstery foam comes in big old sheets like this, and then you can actually kind of rip those off and give you different layers. And then from there, you can get them to look like this. Now, I typically also rough up the back just a bit, maybe even spread them out, just so it doesn't look quite as clean. But it gives you a nice length. And so obviously during like Fire and Fury, it's just great because you can lay out all the troops that are shooting and gives you a much broader range. So I kind of, I like how it's come out. It works pretty well. It's really nice that you can just control them with the touch of a button. You don't have to worry about flipping something on or off. However, they do have a button on top that does shut them off if you want. But again, you can always turn them on just from the button there, dim them down, whatever, and obviously turn them off when you're not using them, which would save you a little bit on the battery. These batteries are supposed to last for a while. Like I said, you get 6 of them in a pack. So that means that to make one of these is basically a little bit more than $2, which if you've ever looked at Warlord and wanted to buy their volley fire thing, it's a little bit more. So this is, I think, a good economical price. There is no work really to this. You don't have to wire something up. You don't have to buy all the pieces and components and do it yourself. This is a pretty good little solution for what it is. So I think it's great. So maybe you guys can use it in your games, and that's it. We'll talk to you later.